a visionary leader.
Been in this industry for quite some long. How did you stay informed back in the early 90s about this industry?
In the early 90s, I would sneak in to the import terminal, cargo import terminal, because I had to do import sales, consignee sales or reverse sales that we call it. So I really had to fill in the flights that were coming in from Germany into India.
Adapting and staying informed in the industry since the 90s.
Bridging the gap to ensure that young professionals are well prepared and aligned with the expectations of this very promising industry.
Learning, actually, getting trained for it, getting a stipend for it, being motivated somehow by reward and recognition, and that's how you bring them forward.
NewsX India A-List proudly recognizes Vandana Singh for excellence in entrepreneurship.
Special show. My name is Vandana Singh, the Director of Global Corporate Key Account Management, Asia Pacific at Saudi, is joining us. Special telecasts in 20 areas of global experience. Vandana has illuminated the path of the air cargo industry. First question is obvious, to get some awareness about what you do. Can you provide an overview of your experience, particularly with cargo logistics industry? What actually does this industry do, and how does it, impact the common man?
Thank you, Vineet, for asking. Great to be here. Firstly, what is the logistics, cargo, aviation industry about? It's about from point A, what drives the global economy. Imagine if the goods don't reach A to point B. It's export and import. And imagine yourself ordering something at one end, and nowadays it's the days of e-commerce. Imagine if it doesn't reach you. So it's really manufacturer to the consumer of the entire global economy as such, and air cargo plays a crucial role. Me, 28 years here, proud and really enjoying it. Thank you.
That's good to know, Vandana. And how did you get into this industry, or can you choose this industry, or was it vice versa?
That's a very interesting question, Vineet. I would say we chose each other. So at the beginning, coming from a forces background, coming from a military background, that father being a brigadier from the Indian Army, I always wanted to be a fighter pilot. And gone are those days. Of course, those days, forget being a fighter pilot. You wouldn't even be allowed to join a lady in the Indian Armed Forces. And I was always so attracted, by the aircraft. So this industry happened to me. It happened from the passenger side, and I made my entry into cargo because I was intrigued by these pallets that used to move. And look at that, and I would say that is the unspoken passenger. I need to talk to that. I need to do that. Supply chain logistics, cargo. That interested me, and it pushed me into that arena. So yes, we chose each other. Yes, I'm happy I chose it.
Sounds wonderful and sounds like quite a story. Also, you've been in this industry for quite some long. How did you stay informed back in the early 90s about this industry, the trends, the changes, and how do you incorporate that knowledge into your strategic planning even today?
Again, well, today is the time of artificial intelligence, chat, GPT, and what have you. And that was a time when there was no internet. There was nothing called, even the mobile phones were still coming in. So there was really no way to get that kind of market intelligence. So, but that's an era which produced some of the best scientists that we know of.
Very true.
And we had to do a lot of studies, meaning be it the newspaper, be it the news, be it the journals, be it the supply chain management books, be it reading which industry is coming up, who are the major exporters, buyers, shippers, and that's the way I would do it. I remember in the early 90s, I would sneak in to the import terminal, cargo import terminal, because I had to do import sales, consignee sales or reverse sales that we call it. So I really had to fill in the flights that were coming in from Germany into India. So I would sneak in and actually go in and write on my wrist, the available number, what is the shipper's name, what is the consignee's name, and really use that as market intelligence. So those were the days, but nonetheless very, very interesting and a lot to learn from, and I'm very proud of those days.
And ideally you should be. Well, also as India is, now the new favorite marketplace for all MNCs, and they're, ready for a bigger exposure. How can, we be ready for some of the new challenges which are going to come about in the logistics arena, according to you?
Well, you said that right. It's all about make in India, made in India, do it in India. And we see a lot of fraction. We see a lot of things happening on that front. We see a lot of industries coming up. We see the Prime Minister himself encouraging all the industries to really come up. So whether it's in the electronics field, whether it's in the IT field, whether it's in the retail, fashion, pharma, what have you, everything is coming up. And I do feel that this is the time that we need to, but we need to pace up. We need to really increase our speed. That is, if we are walking right now, we need to run. We need to catch up. And for that, other than the investment, a lot of traction needs to come in. And I think it is coming in. So let's be optimistic about it.
Right, Vandana, in your rich experience, what disparities or gaps or lacuna have you identified between the skills and the expectations of the young professionals who graduated and the specific requirements and anticipation of this particular industry? And how do you propose addressing or bridging the gap to ensure that young professionals are well prepared and aligned with the expectations of this very promising industry?
Thank you for asking me this question, Vineet. I think it's a very logical question, because at this point of time, I still see there is a lacuna, there is a gap, and young professionals really need to be brought forward. Of course, we have various supply chain management courses, a lot being offered from the air freight, air cargo, ocean freight, as such logistics industry. But I do feel the gap is there in terms of them being actually called over by various industries, learning actually, getting trained for it, getting a stipend for it, being motivated somehow by reward and recognition, and that's how you bring them forward. It is happening, but it needs to happen. The awareness needs to happen at a very at a faster pace than what is happening right now, in my view.
Wonderful. Last question before we let you go. How do you stay adaptable for 25 years in a constantly evolving global business landscape? And how do you encourage innovation within your team? How do you also handle situations where there are differing, opinions and expectations or demands from various global clients? How do you consolidate all of these challenges?
Again, a very nice question, I would say. I think everything, Vineet, is about relationship management. You can't take that away. And that is something which is very, very personal when it comes to the EQ, the emotional quotient. And this is something very personal. So it is not something, it's very human. That is not something which any artificial intelligence tool or any other sort of chat GPT or what have you, do that. But in these 25 years, it's been a wonderful journey for me, and I hope to continue this journey based on the relationship management module techniques, imparted by way of teaching and training the staff and the youngsters coming up. As to how to get this skill into themselves, to invigorate it, as well as learn. And why not? I mean, the technology is changing by the minute, they say. So why not learn from it? Why not make the most of it? I mean, we had to make the meal, we had to cook the dishes ingredient by ingredient, and here if you're getting something ready-made, make full use of it. So I would say technology and relationship management together would make a fantastic combination. Thank you.
Vandana, after speaking to you, I fully realize and recognize why you are at the top of your game. Thank you so much for speaking with NewsX, and we wish you all the best for your future and of course your future with India and the industry that you are a part of. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for having me here.